What's good with y'all boys? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be giving CGA, See God Allah, the notorious CGA free agent lifestyle, the enlightener, his flowers, right? So what Coach Greg Adams did for me was pull the veil off of my eyes about the whole dynamics of the dating marketplace and marriage and all of that in today's society, right? 50 years ago, this information wasn't widely available, but things also weren't as bad as it is today, right? Now, in my previous video where I give AMS his flowers, I had stated that from 2020 to 2022, I had went celibate. And during that time, I was taking in all of AMS's information and I was applying it to my life. 2022, around that time, my family was still a little influential in some of my decisions and like my thought process and mindset. And they were still trying to hammer into me, oh, you need to find a woman and settle down and go get married. Find a woman in the church, find a nice young woman, do this, do that. I'm always thinking to myself, hell nah, but like I would never really voice it. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, nigga, shut up. Like I'm not really discussing it with them. They're always saying that, but I'm kind of open to the idea, but at the same time, I'm not really. And I ain't gonna lie, when I first got put on the CGA, I seen him in a recommended, he was doing a live stream. I clicked on this thing and I started listening. And I'm not gonna lie, I sat there, I wasn't really like feeling everything he was saying because I was like, when me growing up, I was always taught, oh yeah, one woman, one man, y'all supposed to get together and live the rest of your life out in harmony, right? So I was not really 100%, I wasn't 100% receptive. I'd say I was probably like 60% receptive to what CJ was saying at the time. So I wouldn't say I was a hate watcher, but I was looking at him through the side eye, put it that way. So as time progressed, and when it comes to me, I say the thing that separates me from like the majority of people in my family is the willingness to have my reality distorted, like shattered and broken, right? I am willing to accept or listen to or take in any information as long as I can compare the information and be like, yo, this stuff right here is facts. I can apply this information or this knowledge to scenarios that I've seen and it will be true. So I continue to watch CGA and I sat there and over the time, as time progressed, I was like, you know what? This dude is actually speaking straight facts. And when it came to how women divorce grape men, I started looking into that a lot more. And I started to realize that there are family members that I had, even one of my brothers. Everything that CGA was saying was basically what was going on with these dudes. But like CGA famously says, the married men are never going to come out and tell you what's going on because it's supposed to be happy life, right? They're going to suffer in silence. They ain't going to say shit. They ain't going to say nothing until until the house of cards comes falling down. And then everything comes out. But they wasn't going to say nothing during the whole time, right? And as I started to keep taking in this information, I began to realize that the majority of the people that are in my family and the extended family and the people that I see around me are coping heavy, bro. A lot of them are in marriages that they didn't really want to be. A lot of them are in marriages out of scarcity. A lot of them are in marriages because they got the chick pregnant and then they said, all right, we're just going to go ahead and bundle this up and push it under the rug. So they got the chick pregnant and they rushed her down the aisle, got married. And some of them, a few of them, maybe it worked out. I don't know. I'm from the outside looking in. But for the ones that fell apart, like the marriage and all of that stuff disintegrated, everything that CGA said rang true. I saw it. Growing up, the whole marriage ideology was pushed on me heavy. And the thing that never sold me 100% on it was because I saw the way the chicks in the church used to get down. Even like when I was 12, 13, I seen chicks I was like in their 20, 25s. And I could never put my finger on it. I'm kind of like Dexter from the meme. I could never put my finger or prove it, but I just felt like somebody here was doing something unholy. And as time progressed, chicks started popping up pregnant or stopped popping up at all. And then years down the line, they would just randomly show up with a kid. And I began to put the pieces together, and I started to realize, yo, the chicks inside the church are actually worse than the chicks outside of the church. Because the chicks outside of the church, frankly, aren't supposed to know any better. So when you got a chick that's inside the church doing the same as the ones that aren't inside the church, it's like, you know what you're supposed to be doing, and you actively, knowingly going against that, that makes you worse than the chicks that ain't even trying to practice religion, because at least the chicks that aren't practicing religion are living in their truth. Like, they're not trying to portray a character that they're not trying to be. They're not partying on Saturday and then showing up on Sunday. They're not going out on Friday, busting it down, and then popping up on Saturday saying, oh, holy is thou, Lord, God Almighty. They ain't doing none of that. They just outside being them. And like they say, it's better for you to stick to the evil that you know than the evil that you don't know. I think something that CGA says a lot of time is the whole concept of the bait and switch. And I seen this happen firsthand. One of my brothers got baited and switched. He got baited and switched so well that he couldn't believe his eyes. He put the veil back over his eyes. He put the mask. She took the mask off, and he put it back on for her and let the baiting and switching continue. That went on for about 10 years. They're no longer together. And that right there solidified everything that CGA said, because as everything that I was taking in from CGA, everything he would say, I would try to compare it to try to test its validity. And the more I did that, the more I began to make connections. And I got to the point where I said, you know what? I didn't start off being 100% on board with what dude was saying, but now I'm on 200%. I'm 200% on board. I slide for CGA, nigga. CGA preaching, speaking facts. And I see people on the internet stealing his lingo, stealing his phrases, stealing his ideology, and not giving him credit. One day the table's gonna turn. One day, CGA gonna have his day on y'all niggas one day, bro. Y'all niggas that be stealing his content, stealing his thought to speaking points and all of that, and not giving him credit. CGA gonna have his day. But back to the point, what I'm saying, I really appreciate what he did, because even with YouTube demonetizing bro and striking him down and not trying to give him his monetary value where it's due, he's still on here. He's still doing the live streams. He's still giving content, providing value to the community. So I salute, bro. Hats off. You up there with AMS and Kevin Samuels, bro. Just believe that. Remember that. Know that. CGA opened my third eye when it came to this whole marriage scam. From all the information that I've been taking from what he said, your best bet is to be in a state where you ain't gonna get slapped with a common law marriage. You ain't gotta put a ring on nothing. And you can stay with a chick. I wouldn't even say stay with a chick. My analysis by summary is, if I ever were to get married, in the event that a prenup wouldn't get thrown out, me and the chick is staying in separate houses. Both of the houses is mine, but she gonna stay in a separate house. I'm having my personal space. She want to see me, she can come over. I want to see her, I can go over. But we not staying under the same roof 24/7. That shit ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna go down. And that's just in the theory that I was ever to be open to marriage again. But from the way I be seeing dudes get done out here, and some of it is their fault, because I be seeing dudes let themselves go after they get into a marriage, and rightfully so, their woman has a right to be disgusted at them. Because if you let yourself go in a marriage, and you're not the person that she was attracted to when she first married to you, why should she still continue to be attracted to you? You got sloppy. I see a lot of women out here looking in better shape than their husbands, and then husbands be questioning why they gotta fight tooth and nail for a piece of cat, and the wives be ready to hand it out to someone that's in shape. Like, all of these things, when CGA pointed these out, I was like, yo, it makes complete sense why women cheat. I don't condone it, but I do understand. You made your vows at the altar, but those vows need to be updated to where if a dude don't want to keep himself in shape, the wife got the right to step out. Because no homo, but if I was a female and the dude I was with got sloppy, bro, I'm gonna just put it like this. I don't think any female wants to see a gut when she goes down south to go give the grapefruit throat hand twist combo 3000. She rather look at a six-pack. She ain't trying to see no gut, no big-ass belly balloon up in her face. Put it that way. And frankly, that's why a lot of dudes ain't getting no play, because you don't turn your chick on. But all of that stuff is stuff for another video, man. This video is just me giving CGA his flowers. I gotta thank bro for putting me on and like open my eyes to the reality of how this marriage stuff works, because after 2022, I was still kind of open to it because my parents will start still trying to put into my head, yo, you need to find someone and settle down. And after coming off of celibacy for 2 years, I ain't gonna lie, I was ready to lock down the first chick that acted right. But I was still hesitant because I was like, I know people that did that and it never ended well for them. So I'm gonna still pan off on that whole ideology and see how things work out. And CGA came in at the right time and put all that shit to rest. So shout out to the free agent lifestyle for life. That's it for the video. I'm out of here. Peace.